What's going on YouTube? It's Trucker Todd here. This video is about my experience with troops into transportation. This course is about a month long. It did take me a little over 2 months to complete because I had to find ways to work around completing this course because I am still active military. So I will say the first portion of the school is online. It's 2 weeks long. The online portion of the school is to prepare you to get your CDL permit. I recommend that before you guys start school that you get your permit because you could save yourself some time. It's pretty easy getting your permit. Basically, the online portion did really help me learn a lot about trucks and safety, just a lot of important stuff to learn there. But you still can obtain your permit without going into the school. Every state has their own CDL handbook that you can study. An app that I used on my phone was CDL Prep. I will tell you that a majority of the questions that I had on my actual DMV test were on CDL Prep. I only missed 2 questions, and that was in the air brakes category. And I mean, that should tell you enough. Like, CDL Prep, yeah, it was pretty clutch. It helped me pass my test. What the school told us was if we start averaging above 90%, we should go take the test. So the school had their own little app or website that was similar to CDL Prep. It was called LMS. I used that a little bit, and then they said if we want more of a challenge, we could use CDL Prep for the study. So I started doing that. Started averaging above 90%, feeling pretty confident. So I had a walk-in appointment with DMV. I went and knocked the test out in like 10 minutes. The DMV lady told me I had finished the test pretty quick. There were people in there taking their regular driver's license test, and I was finishing before them. But if you study, you prepare yourself, you'll be good to go. That test is probably the easiest thing out of everything I did during school. Once I knocked that out, you know, the school starts taking you a little bit more serious. You know, they want to get you down at Fort Benning to start getting that hands-on training and stuff like that. So I finished the school. There were probably a few quizzes that we had to take. They were pretty easy. One of them is open book. There was a lot of participation in the online class. My instructors were very knowledgeable, learned a ton of stuff, had some good laughs, and like I said, that was all online. And I took night classes, which started around 6:30 or 7 and ended at 11 o'clock at night. Then after that, I put in my own 2 weeks of leave to go down to Fort Benning, Georgia. The school reimbursed me for fuel. They paid for the hotel, and then they also reimbursed me for applying to get my CDL permit and any other fees that I had. Because I had to switch my driver's license from Virginia to North Carolina. They covered that fee. They loaded it up on some prepaid card. Whenever I got to Fort Benning, all I had to do was just provide them with receipts. So that was pretty nice because I think that was about like $400 I got back. So that's pretty nice. You could pay for this school with your GI Bill. You could take out, you know, a student loan, or you could, you know, pay out of pocket. Me, I use my GI Bill. I've always wanted to be a truck driver since I was a child, so I did it that way. My representative really helped me out with that. They filled out the application for me to apply for my GI Bill, and all I had to do was just, you know, give them the personal information, but I didn't physically send it up to the DA or whatever. So that was pretty nice, and I'm thankful for that. So I traveled down to Fort Benning, Georgia. First day, I didn't know what to really expect. I didn't think that we'd get in the trucks the first day, but we did. We got in the trucks the first day. The first thing we did, we went over pre-trip inspection, which for my military folks, all it is a PMCS of the truck. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Me, I'm a 91 Bravo in the United States Army, which is an all-wheeled vehicle mechanic. I'm kind of familiar with some of the parts. With that being said, I still learned some new things about these trucks and stuff. After they went over pre-trip with us, they were like, all right, guys, you know, we're going into straight line backing. So for most of the day, we were practicing pre-trip, straight line backing. While some of us were practicing those two things, there were other folks going on the road in an automatic truck with a trailer, just getting familiarized with how the truck operates, you know, how to turn, you know, you just swing wide and stuff like that, and watch your mirrors so you don't hit anything. So we did that. That was pretty easy. They grade you on a scale of like 1 to 3. 3 being you exceed the standard, 2 is you met the standard, and then 1 means that you need some work. Throughout most of the course, I got 3s. I did get a 2 once. One of the instructors, he was kind of hard on us, but it's all good. So we did that. I believe the next day we started getting into how to shift the 10-speed on the trucks, because this school is one of the few schools that teaches folks how to drive a 10-speed, so you don't have an automatic restriction on your license. So that was pretty fun, learning how to do that. Then we started getting into offset backing, so we practiced that all day. Then, you eventually get into alley dock, and we went on a bunch of different roads. I think there's about 7 roads they take you on, and each one you go on, it's a step higher and higher and higher. That was pretty fun. You just ride in the truck with about like 4 or 5 of the guys. You just drive around, get familiarized with the truck and stuff like that. They rate you on that. My instructors were amazing. They were very knowledgeable, very helpful. We all had a good time, had good laughs, made new friends. I will say that when I was down there, outside of Fort Benning is Columbus, Georgia, one day I accidentally forgot to lock my car, and someone actually did break into my car and took my belongings. So that kind of set me up for failure when I went to go take my CDL driving test, and I'll explain that. So basically one day, someone breaks into my car, they took my whole wallet. My wallet had my license and bank cards and stuff in it. Luckily, they didn't get any money out of my banking cards because I closed my cards, but they did take the paper copy of my North Carolina's driver's license and my CDL permit. My hard copy was at home with my wife because DMV had sent it down whenever I was driving to Georgia. I made a police report and I informed the school. I asked the police officer what could I do, and I was like, hey, without a license I can't really drive. And he was like, as long as you have a picture of the hard copy, you should be good to go. If they pull you over, just tell them I told you you could do this. So I was like, all right, cool. So I finished out the rest of my 2 weeks. The way the school has it is you test out in Lake City, Florida. So one day they give you a dedicated day to drive down to Lake City, Florida. After we arrive there at 1 p.m. we study for a few hours because there's a law in Florida saying that people with out-of-state licenses can test out for the CDL there. They just have to get training in Florida, but it doesn't specify how long the training has to be. So you just train for about 5 or 6 hours, just kind of brush up on your skills and stuff like that. I get there to Florida, I'm trying to brush up on my pre-trip skills because there's some stuff in the pre-trip that is kind of tough to remember. It could either make or break your test, I guess you'd say. Air brakes, if you miss something on air brakes, it's pretty much automatic fail. And that's what happened to me. So this lady comes down that's in charge of the school, and she asks for everyone's licenses. I tell her, hey, my car got broken into, I don't have the hard copy on me, can you just do a picture? Her answer was no. I wasn't going to argue with that because she's totally in the right. I don't want the school getting in trouble because, like I said, it's an amazing school. So I tried to negotiate with my wife if I could meet her halfway. So I asked the school if I could be dismissed to go meet her halfway in South Carolina so I can get the hard copy of my license, so I was able to drive. I believe I left the school around 6 p.m. that day, made up to South Carolina around 10 or 11, met up with my wife, got my license. Came back down to Florida that same day and arrived at 4 a.m. in Lake City, Florida. I was extremely tired. I was drinking pre-workout the entire time I was driving up to South Carolina and back from South Carolina. So I only got only about 2 hours of sleep. I didn't really get to study the section, the pre-trip, that well, but I was determined to get this license, so still went ahead and took the test at 7 a.m. First part of the test is taking the pre-trip. So the computer generates a random form for you to do, whether that be A, which is the front of the truck and the engine compartment, along with the brake system and suspension system. Form B is the middle of the truck and the suspension, wheels, brake system, and then Form C is the entire trailer. Or you can get all three. At first I thought I was having Form C, which I had studied all day, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm ready to do Form C. Well, then they ended up printing me off another paper and I got Form B, and I was like, whatever. So anyways, I made it through Form B, and then I got to my in-cab checks, knocked the in-cab checks out, knocked coupling system out. Then I get to the air brake test. Well, I ended up failing on the air brake test because there's this one section where you tell the instructor, with my brakes released, my wheels chalked, and my foot held on the service pedal, I should lose no more than 4 psi in 1 minute. Well, I forgot to release the air brake valves and I automatically failed. So I did all that work driving from Florida to South Carolina, from South Carolina to Florida for no reason. So I failed. I was just so tired, and I wasn't angry, but I was upset at myself. I was just so tired and upset that I just wasn't upset. So I was just whatever. I had to tell myself, hey, you know what you're doing, just come back whenever they tell you to come back and retake the test. So I will say the second time I took the test, passed it with flying colors. It was super fun. I met a ton of people. I'm going to be keeping in touch with some of the instructors there because they were pretty cool, and you never know you need to ask someone questions and stuff, and these guys had a lot of experience. It's just an amazing experience. I mean, from learning new things to them paying for pretty much everything. I mean, I know you're paying with your GI Bill, but like still, like they paid for my travel, they paid for my hotel and stuff like that. And then I got reimbursed it. Like, you can't beat that. And also, when I passed my test, my tester told me, hey, go out and get your hazmat endorsement, get your doubles and triples endorsement, get all these endorsements and stuff, because the school, even if you're finished with the school, you just hit the school back up with the receipts from DMV or wherever you go. You tell them, hey, I paid for this out of pocket, here's the receipt. The school's going to reimburse you again with the little prepaid card they give you. That's pretty awesome. I had an amazing time there. I'm just happy to have my license. Like, this is honestly a dream come true for me. I've wanted to be a truck driver ever since I was a child, and I just want to help people out the best way that I can. So that's why I'm making this YouTube channel, to help people obtain their dreams. Like, if you want to be a truck driver, like, I'm here to help you. I don't know everything yet, so I guess we'll be learning things at the same time, but I have made it through CDL School, so I can help out with that since I have experience with that. Look forward to more videos of me on the road in a few months. I should be out of the military soon. I plan on getting like a GoPro and stuff and just filming my trips and stuff like that. Plan on doing over the road. If you guys have any questions, just drop them down in the comments below. I'll have a link for the CDL Prep App down below. Thanks for watching this video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be amazing. I'll see you in the next one.